Hi guys, welcome back to another episode of Railroads Online. Today we're going to be taking a look at the second DLC. Sorry. We're looking at the second DLC available for Railroads Online. A little bit more substantial than the Pioneer DLC. This one I did have to pay for. This was not one that was given out, so I did have to pay for it. Given that the game is early, I try to pick up DLC as they come out for games that are relatively new. That way, I'm not playing catch up like I did with Train Sim Classic, where I didn't play the game. I didn't own the game for like 4 years straight, and boy, did I get left behind. Actually, it was longer than 4 years, to be perfectly honest, but such is life. So, this is the Explorer DLC. It's going to come with a FE and MV480 Mastodon in 3 different skins, a DNRG Class 2 Caboose with 2 skins, placeable wild animals, placeable unique environmental and nature items. Boy, this one leaves a bit of a mixed feeling. So it is $4.99, so $5. It's not expensive by any means. It's more just the premise. So the locomotive is kind of nice. It is a 480. It is a coal burner, so it is definitely a later game item for those of you that didn't cheat it in like I did. It's definitely a later game item. It's pretty cool though. 480s in the United States are already a bit of a freak of nature. They weren't big. They weren't popular. Really, the most notable in the U.S. is at Strasburg with number 475, the Norfolk and Western 480s. They're probably the most recognizable thanks to Strasburg. The only other couple roads that I can think of, I believe Great Northern owned a 480. Southern Pacific, I believe, owned a 480. And I believe Northern Pacific owned a 480. I don't know who else, though, off the top of my head. And all those roads did not own a huge number of them, not comparatively to the more common wheel arrangements. So it's already a real odd locomotive. It's even more odd that it's narrow gauge in the United States. They're like unheard of, and by unheard of, I mean the FE and MV, I'm pretty sure, is the one and only road to have owned them. I haven't found, granted, I haven't done a whole ton of research, but I haven't found another road that ended up with any 480s that were narrow gauge. The FE and MV, best I can tell, was a subsidiary of the Chicago and Northwestern. So a fairly big road, a known road, ended up owning them. But the locomotives were relatively short-lived. I believe they were being scrapped before World War II even kicked off. Such is life. Just not a ton of information. Matter of fact, there's not even a ton of photos of these things. It's a really, really obscure locomotive, which, hey, tickles my fancy. I love the weird and obscured. But that's not to say that this is one of those that you're going to go out of there and go, wow, I know what it is, because good luck finding a lot of information on it. Apparently they were relatively well liked enough for the road to have bought multiples. And that's about it. They were liked well enough for them to buy multiples. And they ran them until they scrapped them. all of them were scrapped. None survived today. So, bit of the a bit out of the notebook for this locomotive. Yeah. So let's pull it up over here. Again, it's a very late game coal burning locomotive, as in it's way down here at the end. It's just before the DNRG Class 125. It's got 19,401 foot-pounds tractive effort. So definitely no slouch. It's still about 10,000 less than the K27 here with the compound cylinders, but I believe it's just pretty much on par with the Lima consolidation here. Matter of fact, just a little bit less. Price point, pretty much on point. Definitely better than the 1024 Tweetsy here. So, you know, it's not a half bad coal burning locomotive. 66,000 pounds, built between 1891 and 1902. 160 psi, 480. It is $7,250. Built by Alco. You get a number, a name, and a tender slot. The tender slot is right up here. The number is here on the side of the tender. The name is right here. So it's kind of odd that it doesn't use that whole panel there, but whatever. Smokestack, you're going to get a handful of options. Uno, dos, tres, cuatro, cinco, the real oddball. So 6 smokestack options. Headlights, you'll get a ton of options, ranging from oil burning and coal or electrical. Now, weirdly enough, it will get a generator if you choose an electric headlight. It just won't show up here in the builder info, or in your builder customizer roundhouse area. So like this right here, this is an electric headlight. It'll get a generator right here. Bear in mind, it just doesn't show up here for some weird reason. The electric headlights are pretty neat. Kind of like them. I like the options for the headlights. You get 10 options. Paint jobs. You get kind of the Uinta style greenish here, that dark green. Solid black. The Russian iron with red and white trim. So 3 paint jobs. And then your quantity. So not half bad. Not half bad. Let's jump in it. It is one of those cabs that straddles the firebox here, so it's very cramped. It is fun that it's got all the electrical systems for a cab light. Uh-oh. There it goes. As the game cries. It's got the electrical systems for cab lights, but you don't get to physically use them, unfortunately. Come on, there we go. See, there's the generator I was talking about. You do get a generator with a electric headlight. It just doesn't show up in the editor for some weird reason. Overall, a really cool locomotive, though. It's like a stretched out Rio Grande C16. Crank up the generator. Headlight looks pretty good. Oh yeah, look at that. While I'm thinking about it, we have spots for marker lights. Nice. Back into my tender there. So we got our compressor. It does have air brakes. Whistle, it is reused. However, it's a whistle that's only on like one or two other models. I'm pretty sure this is a whistle that's on the Heisler. So it is at least a little different than the standard different toned hooter that we get on literally everything else. Ooh. Oh, I'm an idiot. Sit here and fight the brakes. Goodness me, I don't know why my game is struggling so bad now. I wonder if it's this locomotive, because this is not a problem with literally anything else. It is literally just this locomotive. I mean, you guys saw I did a video not terribly long ago about the big update running a... Oh, I might get crashed. Let's go ahead and stop. So yeah, wow. Noted. It might murder your frame rates. So let's just do it nice and slow here. The chef sounds aren't half bad, but yeah, wow, I have never had that issue. That was different. We'll just take it fairly slow. Back into one of these switches here so that we can avoid that issue again. And we'll continue along with the content, hopefully. Now it's not running half bad. .33 frames a second. Yeah, now it's running normal. I don't understand why it was causing such an issue going forward. That was wild. Alright. Turn these lights off because it'd be my luck that it's these blasted lights causing issues. So yeah, there's the 480, the Mastodon. Great looking model. Sounds are alright. But forward might murder your frames for some dumb reason, and reverse is okay for some dumb reason. Don't know what's going on with that, but you know, bear in mind, I guess. So let's move up here to our next piece of content. Whoa, we went too far. A caboose. An odd choice for a caboose, but a caboose nonetheless. So here's our Rio Grande, what do they call it? Class 2 caboose. I have the green skin on it. It is essentially a 4-axle version of the bobber caboose. I'm not even kind of joking. It is a little, I mean, credit where it's due again. The model is a little different. But in essence, it's a bobber caboose on four wheels instead of 2. Or 4 sets of wheels, I should say. Built in 1885. Two paint schemes, kind of brownish, red, and then the green. Name and number, and that's it. It is $800. Marker light options, obviously. It does have the, I don't know why I do that when I could just fly. There we go. It does have this little top lantern here for a marker light. Which is kind of funny. You do have to kind of finagle to get up here, but it is there. Or maybe I could just get at it from under there. I'm an idiot. At least I admit it. Handbrakes. Inside. It actually looks pretty nice inside. Got our little stove here. Kettle on the stove. We got a can of Broglem's liquid bologna. Ooh. Sounds appealing, doesn't it? Got a sink. Got a little workbench right here. A work table. Our little spot sit in here. You're thinking it's in here, but the light mounts over here. Huh, interesting. And that is the inside of the little DNRG caboose. Come on, open up. There we go. So pretty neat. A little bit different from the two axle cabooses that we got. Not the real big over-the-road cabooses that we would think about from the Rio Grande today, but it does kind of fit the game. I'll give it credit. It does kind of fit the game, so. We got that. And what else? Placeable wild animals. Here's where I think a little contention might come into play, because why? I don't understand the placeable wild animals. Why not give them some low-powered AI and let let them just roam around the map if I can find them. Animals. So we got a cougar, a bison, a young brown bear, mule deer, golden eagle, bald eagle, full-size brown bear. Cool. So let's place a golden eagle. He is animated. He does a look around. Might flap his wings like when I just placed him a minute ago. Wait. Oh, our buffalo is died. You know, I can appreciate being able to place animals. Say like I make a pen for cattle or something. But on the other hand, these placeable animals don't move. They're placed there, and that's where they stay. Side. Yeah. I don't understand why they made them placeable. I don't understand why they chose wild animals to be placeable. Whoops. Instead of something normal like cows, seeing as we have cattle cars, we have a cattle industry. Why wouldn't you make it so that we could place cows or horses? Things that wouldn't necessarily be roaming around. And then these particular animals, why not have them roaming around the map? Just kind of for giggles and squiggles, give them some real basic roaming AI that'll let them just kind of go walk. Heck, I don't care if the cougar here walks straight up the mountain and over. But, you know, just give it something. Instead, they just kind of stand here. And I've heard a few people voice the same opinion, where it's like, why? It doesn't make a lot of sense. Like, again, cool, placeable animals. Why wouldn't it be something that makes sense, like cows, horses, donkeys, mules, things you would actively be placing and then not having roam around a whole lot? Why is it the wild animals? Why are the wild animals not actually wild in the map and roaming around? Like, I don't even need them to necessarily attack each other or do anything like that. I just kind of feel like they should be moving around. Go ahead and do that, because this is something that I meant to do much earlier. Anyway, got a cougar. We got a bison. I don't know why I keep doing that. Gee. You know, we got a brown bear. Oops. We got a young brown bear. I can make my life so much easier. Here we go. Well, the animations on the brown bear are kind of fun. I still kind of wish that they could get up and, like, go. What did I forget? Alright, the deer. The deer and the bald eagle. It's also a buck. I love that people always forget that doe are a thing. Matter of fact, when it comes to a herd of deer, it makes more sense to have more doe than it does buck, but oh well, what would I know? Uh-oh. Oh. About to say the bald eagle's gonna be where it freezes. Of course. Bald eagle in a tree. Bald eagle is supposed to be making noise, I assume, and doesn't. Oh well. So there's our animal placeables. Just kind of to reiterate, I don't understand why, but whatever, I guess. Foliage, boulders, plants, and trees, I assume is what they're environmental and nature items. A lot of this stuff I remember already being here. So nothing particularly out of the whack with that, but trees, ooh, cool. Some nice tree options. Which, you know, this I kind of like. I do wish more of this was still kind of random, but, you know, you can at least make it filled in and make it look a little more alive, I guess, and not so like that. The African plains here. Nice. Around the desert pine tree doesn't really make much sense. Palm tree. I mean, I wonder if I could chop it down now. Oh no. Boy, that'll screw with somebody. You place that down and then... Oh, I didn't think about that. I wonder how this works on somebody else's server. Or like somebody else joining your server. And you own the DLC and they don't. Can they still see it and play with it? Given, you know, we got locomotives and whatnot. You know, I'm curious as to how that works. Oh well. Is there anything else? Yeah, that's it. It's $5. you know, it's not terrible for what it is. Again, the locomotive causes some wild stuttering issues. The caboose is pretty neat. The locomotive looks pretty neat. The placeable vegetation, alright. You know, I can see it. At least fill in your vegetation a little bit. The placeable animals, nah. I don't get it. I don't understand why they had to be placeable. I still think placeable should have been something like farm animals. Or, hear me out, people. We're almost 4 years into the game and there's no people. You have passenger cars and there's no people. So, yeah. It's just kind of, whatever. Anything else to go over with this DLC? Not really. Fly back here. Whoops. That's what we want. We'll fly back here to the other locomotive, because why not end it off on that, but... Boogity, 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 boo. Yoink. Whoa. And so there it is, guys. The Explorer DLC. New locomotive, new caboose, and some placeable items. It's an alright pack for what it is. I mean, again, it's $5. It's nothing, oh my goodness, I'm coming out of deep pockets here, but it does kind of include some controversial thoughts, I think. I think it's a bit of a mixed bag of Doritos here. So, anyways, hope you guys enjoyed the video. It is available on Steam. If you are interested in it, definitely go check it out. And I will see you guys next time.